everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of Cape Rugby TV here on Cape Town TV. Nice to have you along. It is that time of the season where it's finally time for us to take a look and see who went up and who's going down. It's one of those situations that, well, we of course are going to be wondering the pain that everyone's going to go through. My esteemed panel, as usual, on the stage.
Good evening, JP.
It's going to be a bit of a sad and sweet moment for people, eh?
Yeah, well, you know, we've waited for this, but now it's sad that it's arrived.
Well, we'll have to see how sad it is for certain people. Jerome, like it.
Very good, JP.
You got traveling again?
No. I was away the weekend, but not out of the country.
Not out of the country. And Morgs, how are you feeling?
Hi there, chaps. Good to be here.
Glad to see you put the razor to your chin today.
Yeah, no, I've been busy, chaps. I'm trying to go for the rugged look, I think.
The rugged look, yeah. You must be happy to be getting some breathing space now, eh?
Yeah, look, it's been a long season, I think, and you know, we've been training hard, but now it's a few weeks off, and you know,
yeah,
put the feet up. So yeah, enjoying the break, I think.
All right, folks. Well, you must be wondering what exactly happened over the weekend, and everyone's looking at the logs and the results and trying to see who exactly is going to be going up and going down, because it's this year 2 up and 2 down. Let's quickly take a look at the results then in Super League A. We'll get things started off straight away. There you can see UCT beating Villages 47-7, Marties 38-7 over False Bay, SK Warmers beating Vix 36-31, and Durban, which is the match we were at, 49-17. Okay, so really this was one of those biggest weekends that we've had in club rugby in a long time, Mr. H. I mean, what we found out over the weekend also is, well, last week, I mean, I know you guys from a union perspective know this, is that we're the only union that don't have like a club champs. So our winner is normally just decided by the league.
The league, yeah, the league winner.
Which puts us in a situation that your winner could sometimes be decided 3 weeks in advance.
Yes, yes. It has been before, you know.
On the odd occasion.
Yeah.
But
like
this week, it was completely different. Because it ended up being a situation that Marty's match against False Bay was going to be an important match, and then left that big one, Durbanville Hamiltons, to be literally the cup decider, so to speak. And that's what that game came out to be.
Yeah, that's what you want in a competition, you know. That right, it must go to the wire. Yeah. Right at the end, there must be a lot of permutations still. That makes it exciting. And people moan at the beginning of the year when we present the fixture to them.
Yeah.
Why must we play this one now or that? But we plan it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's planned like that, you know, that it sort of gives the top guys that chance to be in it at the end.
Jerome, tough game though. I mean, it went down to the wire, and we literally saw in the last 10 minutes that Marty's, I mean not Marty's, but Hamilton's actually, you know, or at least Durbanville just needed a few more minutes. Because in the last 10 minutes they started running in tries. They scored 3 tries, I think, in the last 10 minutes. If I had 5 more minutes, Durbanville could have turned this thing on its head.
Yeah, and I think that Durbanville, they knew what they had to do because of the game Marties against False Bay, so they knew the points that they have to get. And it's actually sad for Durbanville to see. I mean, they were the only side that beaten Marties twice this season. I mean, that was the 2 losses that Marties had this season, and they were the team that beat them home and away. Yeah. So it's actually sad for them. And I mean, they went to the club champs, not to be the champions of Western Province, but I mean, it basically came down to the end, the results. And I think it was a good season so far. It was like really close between most of the sides who's going up and going down.
Morgs, you were obviously you were at the Marties game, but then you also turned up at Hamilton's Durbanville. Was there a few minutes towards the end of the game that the Marties fans who came to the game had their sort of nerves in their throat?
Yeah, James, I must say, my phone was a hotline. Everyone trying to keep tabs of what the score was.
Yeah.
And I mean, like you say, with 20 minutes to go, I thought, Marty's had it in the bag, and then I mean, in the last 10 minutes, I think that winger scored sort of 3 or 4 tries in the last 10 minutes and started turning things on its head. So, like you say, I mean, the Superliga definitely went down to literally the last 5 minutes of the season, I think. So, yeah, the Marties guys were happy, and I think they obviously all supported Hamilton's in the day.
Well, folks, we are going to now take a look at the highlights of that match. Of course, we've covered just about we've covered so many different venues, but this was one of those games that we couldn't not go watch. Durbanville Hamiltons, Durbanville, of course, representing Western Province at the club champs this year. And that was really sort of our end of season match that needed to be covered. As much as we've covered every other division and league, and we can't always squeeze every team into the show. That was one that we had to go and check out, and it was Hamilton's Durbanville, and it really was going to see who was going to be the overall crowning champions. Of course, it didn't work out for both teams at the end, because the crowning champions were, of course, decided the night before when Marties beat False Bay and retained their points difference. But let's take a look now at some of the highlights in the match between Durbanville and Hamiltons.
That's right. Durbanville has to beat Hamiltons by 40 points to win the league. And Hamiltons is just pride. We come to spoil a party, like we said.
Say Derbies!
There you go, folks. Durbanville Hamilton's tough game, and by everybody's standards, they reckon it was a world-class quality game. Mr. H, but it looked like both teams were starting to run out a little bit of gas. It's been a tough season.
Yes, it's been a long season, but if you want to be the top, right at the top, the season ends after the final whistle blows.
Jerome, it did seem though that Durbanville changed gears and changed the way that they were thinking about the game almost in the last 10 minutes. And it's as if they realized they've got to turn the gas on, spread the ball wide, and that's all it'll get the points. That kind of attacking rugby, instead of going into your shell and just playing safe rugby all the time, attacking rugby can make a difference if you time it right in the game.
Yeah, look, Durbanville was the team this year that really put up big scores, and they scored a lot of tries this season. And I think for them was important first to win the game, and then obviously when the coaches saw they had the game in the pocket, the message went on, they had to spread it and they had to run it. But unfortunately the time ran out for them.
But now on the flip side, and Morgs, maybe you can comment on this, because you've and incidentally, folks, we will be popping a little bit of sparkling beverage here, just to congratulate the teams in all of the leagues. Morgs, Hamilton's though did seem to want to play a forwards game.
Yeah, look, James. I mean, over the years, Hamilton have always backed their forwards. I mean, that's sort of been their strength. And I think that in the first half, we saw that that's exactly what they did. They employed this, forward dominated game.
Yeah.
And I think Durbanville, obviously, their coach obviously realized at halftime that something needs to change. And I mean, like I say, you know, the Durban had a lot more to play for than Hamilton's. So I think towards the end, I think, you know, Durban were a bit more motivated and decided to spread the ball wide and reap the rewards.
I mean, it didn't really look to me, if I look at, Jerome, maybe you'd know as well, you've been looking at sort of from a talent identification point of view, the Hamilton's team look, backline at least, they look big. But they don't look to me like they've got a lot of pace, other than maybe on the wings. But they look like they've got big centres, and I'm not seeing a lot of mobility there.
Yeah, that's exactly, JP, as Morgan also said, their game plan is around the forwards and the big centres to pass it up and to run it up. But if you come up against a team like Durbanville who can defend well, they obviously will run out of steam. They can match them up front also. So on the day, it didn't really work for them.
Well, anyway, folks, let's also now catch up with the losing captain and coach of Hamilton's, Anton Moorman and his boys. It was a hard day at the office for them. They've had a great season. We've got to give them kudos. Francois Prinsloo and, of course, the head coach there, Anton Moorman. See what they had to say.
Alright mense, saam met my nou is Francois Prinsloo, hy is die kaptein van Hamilton's. Francois, weg van die huis af, maar lyk my julle ouens het anyway trots geëindig op die eind van die dag.
Ja, nee, die Kaapse liga is bietjie styf. Hulle sê een van die hardste ligas, maar ons wou die wen hê vandag, maar Durban het gegaan vir die liga. So nee, hulle het goed gedoen.
Maar julle kan nog steeds trots wees. Ek meen, het was 'n goeie seisoen vir Hamiltons en julle het weer eens gewys die tipe klas wat julle het as 'n span.
Ja, nee, ons drie bo was ons en Maties en Durban was naby. So ons ry ons altyd en ons streef altyd om die liga te wen omdat ons 2009 so goed gedoen het. Maar ag ja, hierdie jaar was nou nie heeltemal ons jaar nie, maar ons is al bo.
Right, folks, with me now is Anton Moorman, the head coach of Hamilton's. Mullies, you're starting to become a regular on the show. Didn't go your way today, but still, you guys can be proud of the performance.
No, I think hats off to Durbanville. They really came out. Their second half was special, and I think it really echoed the kind of season they've had. I think they've lost one game in the league this year, and congratulations to them.
Do you think that the league is getting tougher and tougher every year?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think the standard of club rugby in Cape Town is very high, and there are no easy games.
Well, Mullies, listen, all the best, and we know you guys can certainly end the season with your chin held up high. I think Marty's was extremely nervous today.
No, I'm sure they were. We didn't come here to take those kind of points. But I think the Durbanville had a lot to play for, and definitely showed in the second half.
Yeah, well, look, best of luck for next year.
Cheers, thanks.
Thanks, Mullies.
Cheers.
Well, there you go, Anton Moorman, and here's Captain Francois Prinsloo, and well done to them. I know Mullies has been working extremely hard and bringing his experience of rugby to the game, a former Boland player himself. As I say, it was a tough day at the office. But now let's have a catch up with the winning captain and coach of Durbanville, and that is, of course, Jan Loubser and Marius White. And these boys, of course, managed to turn it on the day. See what they had to say.
Right, folks, with me now is Marius White. Marius, the captain of Durbanville. Exceptional performance. Crowd clearly on your side. Your home team advantage. You must be thrilled with that performance.
Absolutely, a great performance from the team. Huge team effort. All 22 played a major role. Even from the coaching staff, the game plan, every tactic was in place for today. Great support, home-based support. Awesome support right throughout the year. Couldn't ask for more.
Right, folks, with me now is Jan Loubser, the coach here at Durbanville. Jan, uitstekende performance van julle boys vandag.
Ja, baie dankie JP. Ja, hulle het die hele jaar so gespeel en ek dink vanmiddag het hulle maar net die cherry op die koek gesit en hulle hard werk en jy kan sien hulle work ethic is hoog en hulle is 'n klomp positiewe ouens want jy het gesien hulle speel met die bal en dis waaroor die game gaan.
Jong, ek kan hoor jou stem is bietjie hees hier so op die oomblik. Die laaste paar weke het seker die stembande bietjie getoets, maar die laaste 3 jaar was 'n redelike 'n draaipunt vir Durbanville. Wat het vir julle die verskil gemaak oor die laaste 3 jaar of so?
2 jaar. Ek is nou 2 jaar by hulle. Al wat ek gedoen het is ek dink ek het stok gevat van wat in die klub is en ons het 'n paar strukture in plek gesit en die sukses is dat elke ou werk baie hard as 'n individu binne die struktuur, want as jy dit nie doen nie, dan werk jou strukture nie. So die oefeninge, die beserings, die rehab, die nutritions en die goeie, jy weet, so ons het so 'n bietjie 'n step up gemaak en ek dink die ander voordeel wat die ouens hier het is 'n klomp ouens wat al oor so 8 jaar saamkom en hulle het self besluit dat hulle 'n bietjie by mekaar wil staan en speel, jy weet, en dit help jou as 'n afrigter natuurlik baie meer.
Well, we also managed to catch up with the Tata man of the match. He ran in, I think, 3 or 4 tries in the last 4 minutes, or at least the last 10 minutes or so. It was unbelievable watching him just as soon as he got the ball wide, getting over the gain line. Let's have a catch up now with our Tata man of the match, who, of course, wins for himself R1,000, Marius Visser.
Right, folks, with me now is Marius Visser. He is our Tata man of the match. I think it's been, in fact, haven't seen people score 4 tries in the last dying minutes of the game so quickly. Marius, congratulations. You are our Tata man of the match. R1,000 goes to you. How do you feel about the victory today?
It was very nice. It's unlucky we didn't win the season or with enough points. It's a great effort of the team. I think we're a bunch of great guys together for the whole season, and I think it's the camaraderie together that pulled us through. Yeah, and we all enjoyed it.
Nou wel, luister, weer eens wel gedaan. Ek gaan nou julle voorsitter vra, George Sinden, om vir jou R1,000 te bring van Tata. Jy kan natuurlik sien, daar's nie 'n autobank groot genoeg om hierdie ding in te druk nie. George, as jy wil kom vir 'n bietjie handskud hierso met Marius, daar's vir jou R1,000. Kom ons gesels gou hierso met die voorsitter van Durbanville. Uitstekende poging vandag.
Ja, die manne dryf 'n ou na trane, jy weet, maar nee, dis 'n uitstekende span, hulle het 'n uitstekende seisoen beleef, uitstekende afrigtingspan gehad. Jy weet, ou Jan is nog 'n man van die ou skool, hy glo in dissipline en hy kon dit handhaaf met hierdie span. En dit was die groot sukses van hierdie span. Hulle het goeie rugby gespeel die hele seisoen.
Kom ons bring gou hierso vir Marius terug en hy slink so weg aan die een kant met daai check. Om spelers soos hierdie in die span te hê, dit maak mense trots.
Ja, definitief. Jy weet, vername ou soos Marius, hy's 'n vasbyter. Hy het die spoed, hy het alles, hulle moet net vir hom die geleenthede skep. Dan doen hy die ding vir ons.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Westenburg. Buy an Indica Vista Ego from $9.99 per month with a 3-year 100,000 kilometer warranty, 4 years 100,000 kilometer service plan, 3 years unlimited roadside assistance and more. To find out more, SMS the word Tata to 33280 and one of our service consultants will be in touch with you shortly.
Tata is a good buy, for sure.
Well, folks, there you go. Congratulations to Marius Visser. He wins for himself R1,000, courtesy of Tata. Tata have been kind suppliers and supporters and sponsors of the Cape Rugby TV team now during the season. Folks, by the way, the season's not finished yet. We'll still be carrying on now with more Club Rugby features. In fact, together with myself and Herman now over the next few weeks, we're going to be concentrating very much on some of the history of the clubs, where we'll be asking the clubs themselves to come onto the show with us. The panel's going to be a little bit bigger. We'll, of course, still touch on the amateur rugby over the next couple of weeks, but we're going to start asking you, the club, to come in, sit with us, and tell us more about your club itself. So don't forget, any of those old photographs you've got, those black and white pictures that you pull out from under the mattress, as we did last year, bring them, start getting them ready, because we want you, the club, on its show to tell us more about your legacy of club rugby. Mr. H, that's going to be a fascinating feature for the show.
Yes, and you know, if the people are well prepared that are coming onto the show, that, you know, they must actually know the history. You know, there's a number of clubs that's over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Where do you start? You know, do you know the first 50 years?
Yeah.
You know, that's some people only know the last 20 years.
If you had to name a few clubs offhand, I mean, just that jump out for you over the last, say, 100 years of club rugby that have got interesting stories or are iconic in the rugby, the sort of the foundation or forming years of club rugby, who would you say they would be?
Well, the two oldest, Hamiltons, Villages,
Yeah.
and then you get to the others, the Riverstons, the Perseverances, the Temperance, the Retreats, those guys, Amadeus, all those guys they've been there for a century.
100 years.
Yeah,
100 years. I mean, it's fascinating. But we also did a few years back. We did a live broadcast from Primrose.
That's right.
With Nkondi Balfour and Oregon Hoskins, and they were all there. I mean, they're in excess of what I think that was 100. That was 100 years, right?
Yeah.
Another club with a 100-year history.
I think there are about 19 clubs that's over 100.
19 clubs over 100 years. Jerome, how old are you now? I mean, how old is your club now? I mean, your club being Belleville, of course. Yeah. How old are you? How old's Belleville now?
The club is almost as old as I am, JP.
Okay, so yeah, 29, 30, yeah?
No, it's also, JP, it's also, I say the club is also fairly old, but before there was the split in rugby.
Yeah.
So then the clubs joined together and then formed
Who was Belleville before Belleville was Belleville? Who was the club that joined?
There were two Belleville clubs in Belleville. One club did play in the Saru side, one club did play in the Federation side.
Right.
But obviously when the change came in rugby, they amalgamated and they joined together. So there's also a history of that clubs being before that playing long ago playing rugby.
Yeah.
And so they joined together. So they're not as old as certain clubs. But the one good thing about these clubs is that I mean they're still playing up there, playing in the big league and things like that. It's sad to, as Mr. H was saying now about these clubs, the Retreat and all the smaller clubs, that over 100 years or what, but not to see them really up there.
Yeah.
And I think with the history that they've got, they can really do much more to get up there, get sort of the older players involved.
I mean, my personal feeling, Mr. H.
Sorry, there's an interesting stat is that Super League A, the club that's going down, 100 or more years. Super League B, Pineal Villages, 100 or more years. Super League...
are these the clubs going down?
Yeah.
Premier
League A, Young People's, over 100 years. Premier League B, Stelco, over 100 years.
Okay, well, I must just point out then that there's two clubs over there that you've just mentioned that you would have imagined that after 100 years you'd get your discipline right. Young People's almost, right? Yeah. Going down. Pineal Villages, almost going down. And anyway, we're going to get into some of the leagues and logs discussion in a minute. Let's quickly take an ad break. Of course, once again, thank you to Tata for supporting the Club Rugby over the Club Cape Rugby TV and Club Rugby over the season, and Evox Advanced Nutrition, your sports nutrition supplier. We'll be back with you guys in a moment.
Get so much more for so much less at Tata Wistenburg. Buy an Indica Vista Ego from $9.99 per month with a 3-year 100,000-kilometer warranty, 4 years 100,000-kilometer service plan, 3 years unlimited roadside assistance, and more. To find out more, SMS the word Tata to 33280 and one of our service consultants will be in touch with you shortly.
Tata is a good buy for sure.
Right, folks, there you go. Of course, Evox and Tata are our sponsors here on Cape Rugby TV. Let's now just have a look there at some of the other results over the weekend. It was an interesting result then for Super League B. Kells River 38-22 loss for them against Primrose. Hands on Hearts beat Brackenfell 20 points to 18. And it was a win for Helderberg over Collegians 25-13. Kells River 22 loss, so at least UWC 66-0 over Rangers, and that was a good win for them. Hamlets and Young Peoples, well, as you know, that's a 5-point win there for Hamlets just because of the fact that Young Peoples wasn't playing. Scottsdene against Kraaifontein, and Kraaifontein coming out on top in that league there. And Strand United 42-25 over Stelkor. Franschhoek beating Eerste Rivier 50-17. Silvertree 13-7 over Solarians. Macassar 41-30 win for them against Van der Stel. While in Division 1 was Young Stars losing to Manenberg Rangers 43-0. Rocklands 21-5 over Hamadias. Rugby drawing with Strand 14-all. In Division 2 it was Atlantis beating Violets for 18-10. Gardens Tech losing to Blue Stars 26-21. And All Saints 43-10 over Temperance. Division 3 we see Whistling Wheels beating Clutisville. Peninsula losing to Caledonian Roses 68-0. A massive score there. And Perseverance beating Strand Pioneers 26-21. While in Division 4 there was just one game. Thistle losing to Imikawi 16 points to 10. While in the Paarl region it was a win for Young Gardens, a win for Young Standards. Violets Paarl pulled one off against Riverstones 24-20. Vineyards 44-8 win over Simondium. Windmill United losing to Paarl Rangers. And Lower Paarl 59-0 against Albion. So some big scores coming in there. Evox Advanced Nutrition is the official supplier to Western Province Club Rugby. It's time for us to give you an opportunity to win for yourself that Evox hamper. So if you would like to win the Evox products, well, all you need to do is get yourself close to a cell phone right now. 33280 is what you would like to do. 33280, and you can put yourself in the mix to win an Evox hamper. Once again, it's now end of the season, but we know some of you guys will still be carrying on with sevens rugby. Some of you will be carrying on with touch rugby, and you need to make sure that if you're going to the gym to bulk up in the off-season space, that you need to get those products into you. Okay, so Rapid Recovery, this is your number one product to get through the session so that you can get to the next session. And of course, Cytocrank, when you start training, just to get you boosted up. And Super Carbo. It looks like we've got a whole combination of cocktails here on the show tonight. 33280, that's the number that you would need to SMS to put yourself in the mix to win that prize. Last week's winner, of course, Nabeline Kaiser. Congratulations, Nabeline Kaiser, I would say it is. Tell us who is the official sports nutrition supplier to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. SMS your name and answer right now to 33280. That is all you need to do to put yourself in the mix to win those products. Right, folks, there you go. That's your Evox competition. And if you would like to win it, remember, as I said, 33280, you put yourself in the mix to win this Evox hamper. Okay, it's time for us now to look at the social media stuff that came in over the last couple of days. There was more interesting factors there. The kind of comments that have been coming over during the course of the week. Once again, great fun seeing everybody comment on what's happening out there. Let's take a look and see what people had to say. These are the interesting times there. Anselin April once again tweeting to Cape Rugby TV, to JP Nordia and to Morgan Newman, if competition for clubs most mentioned on the show, then Elsie's would win that also. Mr. H, would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, if there's ever a club that got a lot of publicity over the last couple of days, and I think this is where we're going to see one of these days, Elsie's going to hit a big sponsorship. Yeah. You know, that is what's going to happen. I don't see any money getting just dished out to club rugby. Clubs have to get sponsorship out there, and media like this show is what's going to help clubs get sponsorship.
Yeah, no, they must work at it.
They must work at it, and there you go. Certainly in that space there. Let's go back to that social media page now and see what else was said. Walid Brown, the end of another rugby season, had an enjoyable one for the Primrose Thirds. Don't, or at least don't, how many of us have another season left? I suppose he's saying there he's not quite sure how many people have another season left. Tigerberg, just tweeting over the weekend to head down to Florida Park this weekend for some amateur rugby. Should be a good day. Jerome, amateur rugby over the weekend?
Yeah, Western Province amateur team play Griquas amateur team on Saturday at quarter to 4.
Okay, that's this weekend at Florida Park. Okay, yeah. So let's go have back to the social media space there. And fantastic there for Tigerberg tweeting about the fact that there's activity at their park. Once again, the media process here showing the effectivity of the social media space and how you can promote events at your club. Masi Pumulele tweeting, well done, Callies, on your victory. Look forward to seeing you next year in Division 2. And that, of course, was co-tweeted together with Good Sports Trust and Bob Skinstad. Bob Skinstad, of course, the president there of Masi Pumulele. And nice to see Masi Pumulele congratulating Callies on their win. I mean, they were both head-to-head between them and Young Ideas. Masi Pumulele and Callies were fighting it out to see who was going to go up. And nice to see Masi Pumulele sending a little congratulations tweet across the way there.
Great that they're doing it. And you know what? Even there, at that level, right down there at the bottom, it was left till the very last day to decide who's going to win the competition.
Absolutely, and I think that's what's so exciting for us. Let's take a look at some more of the tweets that came in there, but this time on Facebook. So on Facebook there you see it from Prince and Kumanda. Thanks for bringing Kloop Rugby to our homes. It's a pleasure, Prince. Thank you very much. We look forward to that. Congratulations, Tygerberg, Belhar, Bellville, Tygerberg, and what a year 23 this is going to be. Rugby wat die Super League aan die gons gaan hê. Thanks, Claude. Confused me there, but congratulations, Tygerberg. Well done. And a nice post in from Charlton Fredericks, just talking about Bellville RFC on their way to Super League A as well. So there you go, folks. Those are your social media comments that came in, and that's what we want to do. Is we want to congratulate all those teams on their performance. And so, gentlemen, I think it is time for us to pop the champagne. Sparkling.
I thought you were never going to get that.
Sparkling beverage. I'm not apparently allowed to use that word, champagne. Do we want a loud pop or a soft pop?
Loud, JP. I definitely.
Are we looking for? Are we looking for big sprays? Is that what we're looking for, Mr. H? Did you watch? Do you watch Formula One?
Yes.
Okay, so here we go, folks. This is, of course, then in congratulations to the clubs, and we're going to then, after this, go to those logs and have a look at how everybody did. Here we go, and it's a little. Yep, there we go. All right, there we go. I'm going to just pour a little schnips in there. Mr. H, if you want to pass me your glass, there you go. Congratulations to there. And Jerome's glass. Mr. H, look at Mr. H taking 2 glasses for himself.
Mr. H couldn't wait for the show to get to this point, AJ. Yeah.
There we go. And we can't overdo it because... you know,
why can't we do this every week, you know?
Well, yes. Well, there we go, folks. These are the congratulatory non-alcoholic. So to the clubs, and we're going to look to see who they were, and then of course we'll have to have a sip on every league.
Okay.
Okay. So we can't quite drink just yet. All right. Let's now. Mr. H was very keen there to get straight into it. Yeah.
I thought it was good one time.
No. These are not shot glasses. Okay, there you go, folks. Let's take a look now at Super League A. There you see it. Stellenbosch, congratulations. They are the winners there. Stellenbosch and Durban stay in Super League A. Down goes False Bay and Villages. It was a tough season for them. In the Super League B, we see Helderberg and Bellville. Congratulations. You go up and you make sure that you are doing well in Super League A next season. It's going to be a tough one. Down goes Brackenfell and Peniel Villages. Let's just stop there before we go and look at the rest there. But it's not quite over there, Mr. H. I mean, well, I know it's over, but in terms of they are definitely going to go down, Brackenfell and Peniel Villages. But apparently they need to replay that game?
The disciplinary hearing, I think the result will come out today as to what must happen to it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a replay or no points or match stands.
So there's nothing official on that yet.
No, it will be later this afternoon.
It will be later. We'll know the results by tomorrow morning. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So, gentlemen, I think then it's fair enough to give a little toast then, just in the first division there to Stellenbosch for winning the league. So, congratulations to Stellenbosch. Well done, guys. And then, of course, in Super League B, we saw Helderberg and Bellville having such a... So, Jerome, to your team there and Helderberg, congratulations. Well done. Well, I suppose it is up to me now to give a little congratulations toast as well. I see everyone else is sipping happily. So hold on. Lovely stuff. Woo. Maniera, we could really end up here all night. Okay, let's look now at the other results that came out over the weekend. Of course, in Premier League A, we see UWC and Hamlets. Well done to them. They go up. Lungan Young Peoples are going down, and in Super League, at least Premier League B, Silurians goes up, Macassar goes up. They've had a very good season. Jerome, Silurians and Macassar both. Those are the two teams in that league that have been head-to-head all the way. They deserve that win.
It just shows JP like if they're gonna go up now, and they have to work on their depth. If they played basically their second side.
How do you work on your depth?
No, I mean they must really do something. I'm not saying getting players in,
but that would
they
be
must put effort into their second team, in their under-20s, in their third team. It's not just about the first team, because you get injuries and you get things like this happen. So you don't want to have this to happen when you go up. So
yeah. So, but the fact remains though that you do need to recruit more players at your club, because if you have more players, you're going to have more players being able to back up in the second team in case you have injuries there, Jerome.
Yeah, definitely, JP. So, I mean, it's quite a big community there in Silurians. It's Silurians Pass. So, I think they can do much more in getting guys there. I think there's I'm not saying they must take some other players, but they must really work now. Now's the time to work, to get guys in and to get them ready.
Well, Mr. H, one of the things that seemed to come out on Monday at the council meeting, I think the rule is if you can't field the under-20 teams,
then you just lose points from your first team.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. And the reason why we brought in under-20 is to make sure that the clubs show growth.
But to do that, you need to create publicity and exposure and excitement at your club, and you need to go knock on the schools around you's doors.
Youngsters won't come to your club if it's a dour affair where you just come to practice and you play Saturday and you go home.
Yeah.
They want excitement. They want activities that they can be part of after the practice, after the games. I mean, it is important to make it exciting for them.
You know, I really don't buy into the story of I don't want to play club rugby if I'm not playing for a winning club, and I don't want to play club rugby if I'm not making money. I don't want to play club rugby if I'm not in a higher division. Coaches that are saying that and administrators are saying that, in my opinion, have completely misunderstood the concept or nature of rugby. It doesn't matter which division or league you're in. I know not everyone's going to agree with me on this, especially the top coaches who feel that you can only play winning rugby if you're in Super League A. And the reason that I say that is it was evidence there in the Facebook comments from someone who said just now that he plays for the third team in a team.
He enjoyed it.
And he can't wait for next year's season.
But that's exactly what I was going to say now. In our competitions, there are 36 different competitions. You know, first, second, third, fourth, under 21. There are 36 different competitions, each with 10 teams. So that shows you that there's a lot of people that's playing for the enjoyment they all.
But until we have the coaches and administrators out there changing their perception or their attitude, and because they breed negativity by saying, if you're not playing in the right league, you've got no chance. You know, if you go down a division, you're going to lose players. You see, that's a little bit like going into the boxing ring and saying, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to win this fight. Because once you've said that, you've already lost the battle. We need coaches and administrators out there to accept the fact that you can have successful community clubs no matter what division you're in.
But Helderberg is a very good example. They dropped out. Everybody said that's the end of Helderberg. They're back after 1 year.
But again, I don't care if Helderberg, quite frankly, are playing in Division 4 or Super League A. They're a great club. Rugby doesn't play in Super League A, and they have a tremendous amount of supporters. You know, the desperation for clubs to be playing in different higher divisions must come to an end, and they must just understand it's just another name. It's not a ranking system. It's just another name for a division that you're playing in and you're having fun, and that your players are going to keep coming to your club to play rugby, and they know they're not necessarily going to play for Western Province. Jerome?
Yeah, but that's what clubs doing, JP. As you said, going to the schools now, especially, there's no need for them to say that they can't field the under-20 side, because where all the clubs are, there's schools, and that's where Durbanville is good at. They get players from Brackenfell High in all the schools, surrounding schools there, and they also have players which they put at that schools that go help and coach there. So they recruit the guys like after matric. There's a club that you can go to, and also I know Bellville is quite good with that. They've got Kaisersvlei, they've got Bellville High. They recruit their players there. Northerns are good with that. I know how Oudshammer and Patrick Peterson, they're involved with all the schools there. So they get their players there. Same with Elsie's River and things like that. So I think the clubs can do a lot more in getting involved in the, because there's not all the teachers want to coach.
Well, we need to see more things like Morgs.
No, James, I'm just sitting, I'm listening to the conversation, and I'm thinking, I mean, that's why that VUCA tournament is doing so well. I mean, you know, we mustn't forget that, I mean, VUCA, the SA Rugby Legends and VUCA have come on the board, and there's a tournament for kids who don't have fields, who putting a team together, and the amount of talent that we saw there on display is unbelievable. So, I mean, if you can get more coaches and more players going down there and having a look at and recruiting players there, and saying to them, you know, they're close in the area or whatever, and saying to them, listen, pull in.
100%. Apart from the fact that I think that the champagne is starting to go to my head now, if you've got coaches or administrators, you see, this is what gets me. If the coaches or administrators that are out there that are, say, for example, in Division 2, and saying, well, we're going to go down to Division 3, so that's the end of it for us. It's not the end of it for you. You're not there to do that. You are there to perform well, but really, your sole job is to encourage and recruit more rugby players. So to those administrators and coaches, gentlemen, I think we should lift a little glass to the administrators and coaches out there that have done such a fantastic job this year as well.
Excellent.
Right, can any of you remember which league or log I was on last?
We must go to Division 1 now.
We've got to go to Division 1 now. Let's take a look at exactly who went up and down in Division 1. Strand goes up, congratulations. Manenberg goes up, congratulations. Young Wesley's, Young Stars, you go down. Congratulations to you as well, because you go into a new league and you're going to have a lot of fun there. In Division 2, Atlantis and Violets go up, and Watsonian Temperance go down. Caledonian Roses, Masipumulele, there you see it, and Perseverance and Young Brothers. Jerome, just talking about that, we just touched base about Caledonian Roses. They were at one stage not even in the mix, because it was really between Young Stars and Masipumulele. And there was a complete shift just in the last few days of club rugby.
Yeah, and they were a game behind.
Yeah.
Because of the fast.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they sort of caught up.
But just once again it goes to show, don't count your chickens before they hatch. I mean, we start looking at league up and down after the second week in the season.
But as we also said earlier on, JP, it's like guys like Kasim Jabbar.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mr. H, you would know. I think he played his rugby there, and he's still at the club there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of dead guys that really work hard behind the scenes to make things happen there.
Absolutely. I mean, we filmed at Knoll Avenue earlier in the year, and Kasim was sitting on the side of the everything that they've done there. In fact, I remember us filming in front of the Vibercrete wall, in front of a panel beating sign. Everything that is done there, Kasim made the effort together with his community to build. They built that little clubhouse. They built little things with the tires, where they took the tires and made seats out of the tires. You know, it's interesting though that we still have the one thing I must come to point with here, and I think it's important from a club rugby perspective that we have to do a little bit of better understanding of what it is that makes club rugby work. And I think our administrators of the game have not quite cottoned onto the kind of basics that would make things work at a club. Now, I don't want to get too much into that, but the fact is that we must be careful going into the future that we focus our intention on facilities that support the upliftment of communities. And that doesn't necessarily mean hot showers. It could be other facilities that help with that process. Mr. H?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, JP. The fact of the matter is that people want to be, they want to come to a match. They want to be comfortable there.
Yes. That's the key thing.
That's the only thing that they want, you know.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we do realize is, that a number of the venues that we play rugby at, it's not suited for rugby. It's not suited for spectators. There's no seating. There's very poor ablution. There's no cafeterias. And you know, it's difficult to work under those circumstances.
Clearly there's been a failure at engaging councillors to improve the facilities.
Absolutely.
And that the only possible way to influence those councillors is through the media.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they must, you must get the councillor there to your field.
Yeah.
Get him there.
Get him there with a camera, for heaven's sake.
Show him what is going on. You know.
Yeah.
Tell him we're inviting you to come here today with the media.
Yeah. Yes.
And let's see. Look here we are. We're getting 3,000 spectators today at Macassar. There's not a single seat to sit on.
Because in fact, it's just lip service. All the rest of the promises.
And the other thing is, Mr. H, if you go to, I don't want to name clubs, but just an example, if you go and watch rugby at Stellenbosch, where they can, I think 25,000 people, or how many people can sit there, and there's 200 or 100 people. Where it's the other club, the smaller club, there's 3,000 people.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's basically the people that need the facility, the communities that really work hard and they support their clubs.
And those are also the people that pay the rates and the taxes.
Right, let's now touch base on our I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. It's been an exciting season and a lot of fun there. Now we can finally see who it is that went up and who went down and who scored what in the I Love Western Province Club Rugby points. Congratulations to all of the clubs that worked really hard during the entire program. In the first place, we have LCs who worked hard throughout the entire program, as we see there. Second, we've got Whistling Wills, also working hard second half there of the campaign on 2,592 points. In third place, we've got Union Mill. They really mixed it up in the beginning, at the last phase here. 1,941. They're followed by Retreat on 1,602 points. Finishing up the top 5 clubs is Langa Rugby Club with 721 points there. So now we go to Violets. Well done to Violets there on 649. Scottsdene on 502. They're taking 6th and 7th position there. In 8th place, we've got Rocklands, who is just outside the rewards on 474 points. Northerns and Silurians finish up the top 10 teams with 280 and 220 points. And of course, don't forget to view the entire list of standings. Please visit www.ilovewpclubrugby.co.za. Congratulations to all the clubs that earned through enough points at least to qualify for those magnificent rewards. Our picture of the week. Thanks, Lester Naidu from Young Gardens, for an absolutely fabulous photo. Our Facebook fans voted this week as the best pick of the season. Congratulations there. That is your best pick of the season. There we go, folks. It's your I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. More, a good campaign. Come to the end now, though.
Yeah, James, unfortunately, I think there are a lot of people who would like the campaign to run a bit longer, but it has come to an end, and lots of teams have, put in lots of effort to earn some fantastic prizes, and I think LC is a testament to that. They've really been, pushing the campaign, and I think they earned, some the sort of the top prize. So yeah, I mean, Alice Michaels and the rest of the guys else has really put in a big effort, and I think the best thing now is just for guys. I know that Vodacom will probably want to get involved again next year, I'm sure. And I think the best is to now, share their thoughts with us. They must go to Facebook, go to Twitter, and share their thoughts and say what we can do, what Vodacom can do better next year.
Were there a lot of photographs uploaded for this campaign?
It's unbelievable the amount of photographs that people have been uploading onto the website. I see Facebook only uploaded 10 of the best pictures, and people could vote on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, to select the 10 must have taken a few weeks, because I mean, having seen that site, there's thousands of pictures that come up from every weekend. So people have obviously engaged the campaign, and I think next year Vodacom will obviously have to make it just bigger and better, so people must share their thoughts with it.
Well, that's the only way to go forward now, folks, is now you've learned how to do it. Don't forget, if you did enter this campaign, you are going to have to administer your details still to wrap it up. In terms of supplying your administrative details with regards to your players and coaches and stuff to be eligible for those prizes. That's a wrap of your I Love Western Province Club Rugby campaign. We'll be back with you in a moment. Folks, of course, one of our big sponsors at Cape Rugby TV are also having helped us along during the course of the season, and the season now coming to an end shortly is Leisure Hotels. This will be their final week with us as well, is Leisure Hotels supporting Cape Rugby TV. And if you want to win yourself a night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers, then all you need to do is SMS the word leisure to 33280. Congratulations then to this week's winner, Latifa Stemmet. You win for yourself one night's accommodation, bed and breakfast at the Strand Towers. Leisure Hotels, that's where you want to book your accommodation. Incidentally, if you are watching us on stream, international stream, and you are planning on visiting Western Province to come and play against the club, maybe you're out there in Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Georgia, wherever you are, you're coming to Cape Town, book yourself in at Leisure at Kenya. Yeah, if you're in Kenya.
What about the coffee, JP?
Did you bring coffee for us this week? Coffee
will never come.
I think maybe let's have a quick look at the coffee there. Someone's going to get us the coffee, and let's see what Jerome did actually. Because I can tell you that after this, congratulations back. There we go. Thank you very much, Jerome. This coffee from Kenya.
Yeah, you can smell it, JP, like through there. It's the best coffee in the world, eh?
Die ruikt vir my soos acha. Ja, nogal uitgevat. Anyway, time for us now to take a look. Yeah, my whole table is filling up here with catering equipment. But a big Currie Cup match is coming up over the weekend then. Let's take a look and see who's playing against who. It's the Bulls up against Western Province. Crickwas take on the Lions, and Cheetahs take on the Sharks. Time for our Super Brew predictions. Yeah, so if you want to find out exactly how you did in Super Brew, it was a fascinating weekend, of which I pretty much went down on everything. But now let's have a look at the Super Brew's ups and downs there. Congratulations to Lenny, Boo, Philip, Bulldog, and a couple of other guys here that are the biggest gainers. Unchanged, of course, we're not going to go into that. Biggest losers are Mitch, Sharky D. You guys go down by more than 200 points. And in the top 10 is Philip Schrader, Tian, Jeff, Fredo, Magog, Rhino, Nikki, JC, and Vanessa. Those are our Super Brew predictions in terms of the Cape Rugby TV pool, who went up and who went down. Gentlemen, it is now time for you to give your predictions there. Let's start with you, Morgs, the Bulls and Western Province.
Yes, Japes, I think Western Province will bounce back. It's never easy at Loftus, but I'll go Western Province by 1.
Western Province by 1. Jerome?
I'll go Western Province by 2.
Mr. H?
Western Province, 10.
Western Province, 10. Seeing as it's making absolutely no difference at the moment, whatever I predict is just going to be wrong. Although I did get it right the previous week. Province dropped me last week. I've supported them with all my faithful heartness. I'm going to just go with Western Province by 10. So if we lose together. Morgs, Griquas and the Lions?
James, I'm going to go Griquas by 5.
Jerome?
I want to go with Griquas, but it seems like the Lions are unstoppable. So I'll go Lions by 8.
Lions 10.
I'm going to have to go with Griquas by 5 on this one. I think that's my prediction there. Morgs, Cheetahs and the Sharks.
Jason, I'm going Sharks by 10.
Jerome?
Sharks by 7.
Sharks 12.
And I'm going to go with the Cheetahs by 7. Just because I really can't enjoy the Sharks at the moment. Actually, making me rather nauseous. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Folks, that is then, let me clink a glass here of our non-alcoholic beverage one more time. Gentlemen, I think congratulations then to the league winners who have done so well. Congratulations to the administrators and the players. And Jerome, hopefully out of all of these players, you've got yourself some good amateur players coming through the ranks.
No, there's definitely a few, JP. And I think a few of them are going to get contracts within Western Province.
Well, that's fantastic. Mr. H, and next week we'll start looking at some of the history of club rugby, and we'll start having a little bit more casual conversations here in the studio.
Yeah, no, well, that would be excellent. The club should start preparing themselves, because we would like to do all of them, whether they're 100 or whether they're 20.
Get some photographs. Yeah. If you happen to have an old black and white video out there, bring it to us as well. But get your old photographs ready. We'll scan it in here. We'll put it on the show. But from next week on, the show is going to be slightly different. There won't be a desk. There will be chairs. And we'll all be sitting around it and drinking non-alcoholic celebratory drinks. Gentlemen, we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go, folks. See you later. Cheers.